Well, I'm super excited. I am just leaving the hotel to head over to the outdoor adventure show at the International Center and test out my presentation and make sure all my audio and video is working. So I will see you guys soon. All right, I just got my pass and I got my friends here, Sam and Shiloh and John from Backcountry Custom Canoes. And we're heading to the stage to set up and check everything out. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Outdoor Adventure Show. My name is Christina.
I'm going to do some work.
I'm also known as Camper Christina, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about solo camping and the process that I went through to get to become a solo camper. I've been backcountry camping for 16, 17 years now, and I've been solo camping for 2.5 years. And I also have some great prizes to give away if you guys have been watching some of my social media channels, which I'll be doing after the show. So if you pay attention and you can answer a question correctly, you might walk away with some swag. I'm going to start off with this short video. Interested in doing a beautiful portage trip through Algonquin Park? How about kayak camping through the French River? Watching a buck swim by you at the Massasauga Provincial Park? Or how about paddling through the beautiful misty morning fog in Killarney? Maybe you'd like to go winter camping, where you will really hear the sound of silence. You post a message on Facebook and start emailing some friends, sending out some texts. Hey, let's go camping. But your friends are working. Some of them are just a little too princessy. And many of them think you're crazy. Maybe it's time to try going out on your own and doing a solo trip. All right, so I'm interested to see by a show of hands today, who has gone solo out on their own, solo, let's say for a solo hike or a solo paddle. Wow, that's quite a few. How about solo camping? Let's say one night, car camping or backcountry. Wow, okay. How about a multi-day trip? Let's say by backcountry. Holy smokes, you guys can come up here and help me. For those of you who put up your hands, why did you go solo?
I love
Yeah.
peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet, exactly. Who else? Experience? Yeah? Anyone else? Yeah? Challenge? Yeah, those are all really great reasons. I had a lot of reasons for going solo. Listed them here. I had no one to go with, right? No one who has the same schedule, right? I have a lot of friends who are nurses, they work at bars. You know, I'm available on the weekends, they're not available at the same time. No one with the same skill set, right? You don't want to go out canoeing or kayaking with someone who's never paddled before. If something happens, you know, they can't help you, you can't help them, right? So it's a bad situation. No one with the same interests, right? I have a lot of great friends who do not want to go somewhere there's no bathroom and no shower, right? And I wanted to go alone. I really wanted to kind of do that be at one with nature thing. Sorry, I'm new with this clicker. All right, so all of those reasons led me to do a solo trip, a lot of solo trips, and this brought me to this. Yay, I did it! I've just completed my 14th portage out of 14 portages on a 5-day, 4-night solo trip. And I'm getting a little teary-eyed. Didn't expect to be so emotional, but I know that this isn't a huge deal for a lot of people. I know lots of people do trips like this all the time. I mean, look at Mike Ranta, he's paddling solo across the country, you know, but for me, this is a big deal. Wow. My very first camping backcountry trip was in Algonquin Park in 2002.
and I went with somebody, and I did 5 days, 4 nights. It was a little overzealous. It was a big trip, but we managed to get through it, and I was hooked on backcountry camping from then on. I didn't go for a long time because I didn't have anybody to go with. And about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, I started solo camping because I wanted to go and I had nobody to go with. And I said, well, then I'm going to go by myself. So I started out 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, but doing this trip was a big deal to me because that very first loop that I did, I was going to recreate it. I wanted to redo it this year and do it solo. And there is a 3-kilometer portage. There's lots of portages, but one of the portages was 3 kilometers, and I said, if I double carry on that, that's 9K. Like, there's no way I'm going to do that. And I opted not to do the trip. And I knew that this Labor Day I wanted to do a big trip. I left the days open, and I was planning, and then probably about 4 or 5 days before, I found this loop that I wanted to do. And I did way over that 9K. I'm really proud of myself, you know. You never know what you can accomplish until you try. I really wanted to just prove to myself that I could do this, and I did. And I'm gonna stop blubbering now, and I'm gonna make my way back to where my car is. I better get going. But thanks so much for sharing the journey with me. You know, never underestimate yourself. You don't know what you can do until you try it. So, thanks. Bye.
I still get a little teary-eyed when I watch that video. All right, so for those of you who haven't gone solo, what's holding you back? Is there a fear? Is there a reason? Who hasn't gone solo? Why haven't you gone? Yeah. For bears? I get that at least once a week in the summertime. Someone asks me about that. Anybody else? Yeah? Pardon? Too many injuries. Yeah, that sucks. Anybody else? Yep. Why haven't you gone? Never paddled alone before, so experience. Right? Those are a lot of great reasons. I had a lot of things holding me back. Mostly fear-related. Fear of getting hurt out there, right? What happens if you're out there by yourself and you sprain your ankle or you cut yourself? What do? Fear of getting eaten by a bear. It's a huge one. Lots of people are scared of bears, right? Fear of getting lost. Some of you might know I went to the Massasauga a couple years ago and I got lost going to the Privy at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was very scary. For 45 minutes I couldn't find my way back to camp. So fear of not having the right skills or the right knowledge, right? Need to know what to do, right? All the proper methods, how to paddle correctly, how to get in and out of your boat, that kind of stuff. So what did I do? Well, I took these fears one by one and I started attacking them. So fear of getting hurt. What I did was I went online and I found a great course. Frontenac Park has wonderful courses. They have a wilderness first aid course, which I took. $125. It's 3 days. You go do it in the backcountry. And the most important thing that they teach you is not actually the first aid, but how to avoid needing it. Things to do, to think about, that will keep you from hurting yourself in the first place and needing that first aid. Very important. It was a great course. The other thing that goes along with that, right, is you need to have a way to call for help, right? So a lot of you know I use my cell phone for all my videos, all my photos. I usually call the park or I contact someone who's been to the park before and I say, hey, have you been here? Is there a signal? I try to go to places that have a signal. I keep a portable charger with me, so I always have battery. You guys will probably see, if some of you have seen my videos, I always have a whistle around my neck, and that's to have a signaling device, right, in case I need help and I can't yell. Same thing with the mirror, right, signaling device for help. And to my mom's great joy, my mom's here, everybody, say hi to my mom. Last year I picked up a beacon, and there's many different signaling devices out there. You can get a InReach, you can get a Spot. A lot of them have monthly charges. I picked up a beacon from one of my friends. It was used, and you don't have to pay. It's just a one-time fee. You buy the device. It's hooked up to the federal government. So what I do before I go out on a trip is I go on the website and I file a trip report. I tell them, you know, I'm bringing my Delta Kayak, I'm bringing my Perception Tribute, I'm bringing my canoe, I've got an orange tent, I'm staying on this lake this night, this lake this night. And then if something happens to me and I press that little red button, they have an idea where to find me. And that gives me comfort, right? And that lets me know that if something happens, help will come. And that's really important, right? It gives you peace of mind. Fear of getting eaten by a bear. This is a huge one for a lot of people. You know, and there's ways to deal with bears. You can go look online. What do you do when you come across a bear? But the most important thing to do is to avoid the bear. What do bears want? Food, exactly. Bears want food. So what do you have to do? Keep the food away from the bears. I went camping at Mule Lake. It was actually the weekend before my very first solo trip when I came face to face with a bear. I was walking back from the washroom at 6 in the morning and there he was standing on the road staring at me. I avoided eye contact. I may have taken my phone out and taken a picture. And then I kind of snuck through the back of the campsite so that I could avoid the bear. The bear followed me along the camp road and then he disappeared. I didn't know where he was, so I kind of peeked around because I'm curious, right? I've never seen a bear before. He was eating my citronella candle that I left out. So it's not only food, right? You've got to keep things that are scented away from the bears. I use a BB 550. This is a, it kind of came out washed out here on the slide, but it's called the Bear Vault, a BB 550. And when I did the research on it, they're known as one of the most secure bear-proof containers. They're odor-proof. I also put everything in a Ziploc bag, and then I put it in that container and it locks up. And only one bear so far has been known to get into it that I know of in Yellowstone Park. So that gives me pretty good peace of mind, right? If you use a blue bear barrel, a lot of people use those. They're quite popular. They're not bear-proof, okay guys? So make sure that you hang them. Just like an Ursack, an animal can get into them. So you want to keep them away from bears. Again, you can go online and find out the information about how to hang your food. Fear of getting lost. This is a big one for me. I've been handrailing most of my life. I don't know if any of you know the term. I'm sure some of you know what the term is. I basically use landmarks to figure out where you are. I didn't know how to read a compass or a map until just a few years ago, actually. And again, Frontenac came in handy, and they taught me how to stay found. That was really important. I signed up with a course with them. They have great courses at Frontenac. If you guys are interested in getting some knowledge, getting some education, $25 a day for a map and compass level 1 and level 2, right? Stay at the campground, make a weekend of it, and get some skills. You can also go online. You know, friends like Kevin Callan at The Happy Camper, he has great videos on YouTube, and you can just sit there and watch them and learn. Learn how to read a compass, because yes, I use a GPS on my phone, and it's great to follow that little blue dot, but what happens if my phone fails? What happens if I drop it in the lake? You've got to have a backup, especially when you go by yourself. You can't just have one backup, right? You have to have a few things so that if something fails, you've always got that other thing to make sure that you can get out of wherever you are. Somehow the title page is gone, but this is supposed to say fear of having the right skills and knowledge. What I did in 2015 and 2016 was I signed up with the Ontario Sea Kayak Centre. They have a booth here as well at the show. My coach Dimpna is actually here, and James. They're wonderful people. They teach you all kinds of great skills. And I went and signed up with them. I not only took my level 1, but a couple months later, I took my level 2. These courses give you confidence, and they make you feel like you really know what you're doing. Not only that, but the level 1 and the level 2, they don't just teach you paddling skills. They teach you how to read a map. They teach you navigation. They teach you what to bring in your first aid kit, you know, what kind of food to bring, all that stuff. The level 2 is actually, you're out in the backcountry for 4 or 5 days on a trip. So you're with other campers and you can learn things from them as well. It's a great course and I can't say enough about it. So after I did all that, I headed out on my first solo trip.